Hi everyone, this is Heather from the Flourish.Academy, where our goal is to equip you with the best techniques and tips to make you a better and more efficient photographer. In this video, we are going to remove blemishes inside of Photoshop. But first, make sure you check out all of the free resources available at the Flourish website, which can be found at Flourish.Academy. This is the second video in a series where I'm examining the differences in both effectiveness and efficiency for spot removal inside of Lightroom or using the healing tools inside of Photoshop. I'm going to begin by pressing Command J, that's Control J, on the PC in order to duplicate my background layer. Zoom in with the Command or Control plus spacebar to reposition. There are a variety of tools we could select at this point, but I just think that the spot healing brush is going to work the best. So I'm going to click and brush over areas I wish to remove, and I'm going to allow Photoshop to select a source, copy, and blend those pixels. And the reason is it typically does a pretty good job, and I can move pretty quickly with this tool in order to accomplish the results I'm looking for. Let's zoom out a little bit with a Command or Control minus and look at the before and after, and I think that looks pretty good. When we worked on this photo in Lightroom, we also used the spot removal tool to lessen the impact of the under eye shadows. But what I'm going to do is use the clone stamp tool in order to achieve that same effect. I'm going to press Command or Control J in order to duplicate my layer, S on my keyboard to select the clone stamp. I'm going to make sure that the mode for the clone stamp is set to lighten and anywhere between 30 and 50%. I'm going to hold down Alt or Option on my keyboard and click in order to define a source, and then I'm just going to brush under his eyes. Again, Alt or Option and click to define that source, brush under the eyes. Take a look at the before and after, and if you need to reduce that opacity, you can, but I think that looks pretty good. Let's take this image into Lightroom so we can compare the Lightroom edit to the Photoshop edit. This photo was edited with the spot removal tool inside of Lightroom in a previous video, and this one is the photo that we just edited inside of Photoshop. Let's zoom in and take a closer look. This was the Photoshop edit, and this was the Lightroom edit. It's a little bit different, and it really largely depends on your personal preference. I was actually more efficient inside of Photoshop than I was in Lightroom, and I like the results a little bit better, so I'll probably stick with the spot healing brush and maybe the patch tool in order to eliminate blemishes. But you know what? I'm really tempted. I think I'm going to do it. Let's jump back into Photoshop. What I'd like to do is run my skin softening retouch action in order to soften his skin a little bit. I'm going to use layer masks to do that, and I'm just going to brush on the softness from the action. You can learn more about this action at the Flourish Academy, but I'm going to place it on pretty heavy so that I can reduce the opacity to fit the image. So here's the before and after with the skin softening. Let's reduce that opacity maybe to around 50 or 60% and look at the before and after, and I think that looks so much better. I typically do not soften male skin, but in this case I just wanted to smooth out some of the discoloration. And in conclusion, I'd like to look at the original, the Lightroom edit, the Photoshop edit, and then the Photoshop skin softening. You can approach these images however you would like. I just wanted to share a few techniques. I hope that you found this useful. I'll see you in the next video.